Welcome back to Surfboard Resto Part 2. I've sanded back the patched board where I've glassed it, and I've exposed a few holes where it didn't go so well or laminate so well. So I'm going to now glass those up. There's another one down the back here and underneath. This time I'm going to use a chop strand mat as opposed to the cloth that I used last time. This one I can pull off into little strands and I can stuff it in the hole and backfill it using my resin, which I need to harden. At the same time, I'm going to hopefully have enough resin left over, and I'm going to create a bog using this lightweight filler powder, which creates a sandable bog, and I can go and patch repairs as well, like redo this shape here. So I'm going to try and put that on at the same time with my leftover bog. Filler powder added to create a bog out of my resin. The glassing has been done with chop strand mat. It's not pretty, but it gets in the holes. Now I'm going to fear over other holes that I've done that's not so pretty. Any other imperfections? Okay, so we've glassed the board and put some bog on at the same time, and that's a mix of glass and bog now. We'll hopefully be able to sand that when we've finished and give us the desired shape and be 100% watertight this time. It doesn't look very pretty right now, and chop strand isn't very pretty, but the whole idea of the board is not prettiness really, it's about making it watertight and usable again. And well, I haven't decided what my paint is yet, so that's the next phase. Off now to do some research and start getting ready for finishing. Right, whilst we're waiting for the last bit of glass and bog to go up on the board, I'm going to start masking out a design on it. My first idea was to just gloss the whole board and leave it clear coated and call it patina, keep it in its rustic patched look, but with further research and looking at ideas, I've decided to put a design into it. So I have a pencil, some ruler and some tape, and I'm going to start by masking it out. First of all, I'm just going to use my marking gauge, and I'm going to roughly draw on a rail line where the end of my rail is going to end. This is going to be my guide for masking, and put a muck around there, looking at my designs as we go. And well, I'll get back to you once I've done some masking. So I have now masked off my design. A few little stripes there that I've decided on. So now I'm ready to start applying some colour. I was originally going to just clear coat it and keep it as a patina type look, but the more I looked at surfboards, the more I decided I wanted to experiment and maybe give it some colour and a paint job. So I started investigating spray paints, and I found I needed an acrylic paint underneath for my resin clear coat to stick to. So I was rampaging through my cupboard and I didn't find any acrylic paint, but what I did find was some resin pastes. So I started researching tinting and colouring resins. And what I also found was I had some silver pearl metallic and some red pearl metallic. So I experimented around, had a bit of a play, and I've come up with a maroon or deep red metallic coloured resin. Kind of sticks with the sort of 80s colour theme, maroon red. So we're going to give it a crack and try and apply that. Wish me luck, never done this before, hope it turns out alright. Right, and here is our board with our pigmented resin on top. Before it's cured, I left it for about an hour, 1 to 2 hours, and then I pulled the tape off, so it didn't get stuck under the resin, which has gone hard. We did get a bit of bleed through in parts of the tape, not too worried about that. I now have to back the sanding for a couple of hours. It needs to go down to about 800 grit to give it a nice sort of smooth real finish, not real nice smooth finish, so I can get a deep gloss coat in the clear. Right, check back in a couple of hours with some sanding. So I have started sanding my board down with 80 grit initially, going through the grades down to I'm at 400 now. As I started sanding the deck, it started coming up a little bit patchy. Initially I was avoiding all that, trying to keep it all consistent colour, but the board's not 100% smooth, so these are all high spots and all the darker colours will be low spots on the board. What I've decided to do now is I'm going to run with this sort of just camo-y type, I don't know, patchy type work, and I'm going to try and get that consistency throughout. Patch there, patch there. I'm going to try and get all that fixed out and run with that. Probably move to wet and dry sandpaper eventually as well to get it as fine as possible. Done my tail, it's all patched up. A little bit of spot patching to be done on some little imperfections in here, and I've found a spot that I failed to bog last time round. Also got to smooth the bottom as well with some finer grade sandpaper. Right, now here we have the sanded board ready for clear coating. The more I sanded the deck and this colour through here, the more aggressive I got, as I quite liked, like I said earlier, about all this yellow poking through from underneath, and this is the end result. Whilst I was looking up painting and researching that, I was looking at textured finishes and whether I could make it a brushed look or something like that. So having it finished like this is kind of what I was after. It's turned out pretty good. Not so sure about seeing my metal flake through it though. When I wet it over, you can see the flake through it lightly. I'm gonna consider chucking a red candy pearl flake through the clear coat on top. The bottom I'm just gonna leave as it is. Logos have all retained. Even managed to keep half of the bottom logo through my repair in here, but I'm just going to leave that like that and just clear coat straight over the top. Right, run the patina bottom. So, and I guess that ends part 2. Part 3 we'll be finishing it. Cheers.